Greetings, my fellow captains. Welcome back to another episode, another video from Grease Gaming. I almost said episode. Ain't an episode. This is Wandering Bread for the Hydra Clan, with U-Scooter and his Tier 10 battleship, Grosse Kurfers. And it's been a little while since Wandering submitted a video on anything, and he said, Raz, keep calm. He wrote actually one small slogan for me. He said, keep calm and carry on. That's all he wrote, with the screenshots and this replay submitted. This is on the map Trap, and Scooter's in his Tier 9 Trump Wagon, Missouri. Missouri's going to be leaving soon very much for us, and hope you guys get your hands on it. It's a very good ship. If not, hope to see you guys getting the Musashi. But we'll talk about that stuff some other time. What we're going to talk about is this match. Tier 10, Grosse Kurfers, the top of the line for the battleship line of the Germans. Grosse Kurfers is definitely one unique ship. This is a H-class battleship design that was never fully was dreamed up by the Navy of the Germans during its war times, but it was never ever fully put into fruition. Bismarck was going to be the first of the new line, and then it was going to be followed suit by a slew of H classes that were going to precede it in a larger size, larger caliber, and larger guns. But of course, this plan was silenced by the invasion of Normandy. So, this is the paper design of that ship that we were supposedly might be getting. Now, what's nice about the Grosse Kurfers? Well, first off, it has 12 420mm guns. Yes, that's right, 420s. Yeah, you can make your blaze jokes if you want. But it also has very, very good secondaries, of course. It has just as good as the Bismarcks, if not better, if you buff up all the specs up to fully buffing the secondaries. No lie, you will easily get your hands on having a, well, I hate saying this, over 11 kilometers of secondary range. It's really, really, really evil, but it just comes with owning this ship. The reload time is, of course, very, very good for its 420s, and on top of that, you also get a Hydra acoustic. So if you wanted to, you have the ability to put yourself in a position to hide, detect torpedoes and find ships in that smoke. Of course, Wandering fired at that Baltimore. No citadels, unfortunately. The Lady Luck was not on his side there, and did not allow that to happen. Now you saw that. That's his secondaries right now going on the Benson. Now I can tell definitely that they're automatically fired, so that means Wandering does not have a manual secondary commander on this ship, which means his dispersion on the secondaries is a little poorer than mine. But that does not mean that this ship actually has very bad ones. If you're wondering what like colorful rainbow is, that's actually his secondaries. So, yeah, they're pretty nasty looking little secondaries. If you put manual secondaries on it, it will make that dispersion even better. Now, Trap is definitely noted for being one of those maps that you have the same thing happen over and over and over again, and this is no clear cut of actually what I mean by that. The entire team has decided to go towards the ACAP, mainly the battleships, and go toe-to-toe with each other. Wandering took a small massive hit actually, or small, but it's still a pretty nasty hit, from the Yamato, but he did derp and did a terrible aim on his ship, and not give him, didn't get much damage on it. Now he decides to fire at him again with the 420s, and he sneaks the kill from the torpedoes coming in. But at least it's dead. Doesn't matter, it's a dead ship. Secondaries are still spamming on that curve first on his on the enemy team, and now the secondaries popped up that destroyer, and they decided to change because of closer priority target. Once that target was then removed, it goes back to the closest target that is available, which this time is the curve first, which we're now up to 33 over 33 hits. And a ship on the enemy team gets detonated just now. Now if you notice, wondering yourself looking at the other ships that are actually there. Well, that's why right there. Broadside Missouri. Oh, I don't want your radar here. I don't want to see any of that. Let's solve that problem right now, shall we? Okay, never mind. Oh, I don't feel like resolving that issue. Broadside Missouri, and no. And I apologize. No. Citadels. Excuse me. Now there is a Des Moines and a Curvers. Curvers is still losing health very, very quickly, and Des Moines looks like he is deciding to go around the island. Wondering sees this. He's still backing up. But that's because he thought the Des Moines was going. But he does see that Missouri still positioned and just took a massive hit from another ship. We'll say that this was another battleship or another cruiser that has definitely popped and saw him broadside. Wondering has decided to go forward and waiting for that shot, and fired his 420s right at the broadside of that ship. It looked pretty good, and yeah, got a Citadel. That's his second kill this match. Now that whole team down south that was all there has basically been depleted. Now the thing left there is the Des Moines, who's trying to hold down the holding tide of all these ships. Now currently they do own the cap down here, but that does not mean that they're out of the woods yet. They still own B and C, the enemy team, and that is going to be quite a problem for him. The enemy team definitely has quite the majority of the fight, but that does not mean it can be over. Wanting to seize the Lo Yang, and instead of firing on the Des Moines, he goes at the Lo Yang, which actually is a pretty good idea. Even though he might not get a full penetration and get an overpen, that still is technically damage, and a Lo Yang is definitely more of a problem than the Des Moines radar. He can take on a Des Moines for a little while, but the torpedoes from a Lo Yang is a different story. And what was that? Yeah, you saw what we saw. Those torpedoes that were about to hit, wondering, petered out. Now there is 3 ships currently in view. A New Orleans, which does... Okay. That New Orleans does not have any camo. I'm sorry, but you need to be exterminated. Terry with no camo, that is very, very, very unfortunate for you, sir. And of course, he's now dead by the Hindenburg. Now, there is a little issue here. We do have a Bismarck and a Carolina still here in the match. And that Lo Yang is still around. But he is on low health, so that doesn't mean that he's going to be much long. Oh, never mind. There he is. He's now been spotted, as you can see on the map. Wondering, though, wants to fire on that other enemy ship. Looks like the cruiser and destroyer are actually doing the shortcoming work that he needed to be done, and might have gotten that problem solved very quickly. Up there he goes, Lo Yang on the Allied team, and killed the enemy Lo Yang on the enemy team. Scooter is still with him, and definitely is trying to hold and help out as much as he can. He fires on his Zao and doesn't get what he wanted. And now he got, Wondering got 3 fires on his ship. Definitely did not like that very much. So, well, it's time for him to go on some hunting. Now, clearly you can see that this match is still a little on the ropes here. They now have majority of the ships in this match as he gets the Citadel. But he does not, and Scooter just died right there very quickly against the Carolina broadside. They still have majority of the caps, so the point values are still to the enemy. So this is going to be as hard as he can be to try to keep in this match. The question is, can Wondering get enough damage or push enough on the caps to actually push this battle into the victory department? Well, he's trying. Now he does see a Bismarck out there, and he does decide to fire at that. If he gets a good enough hit on the top there, he actually gets a good damage. Yep, and he does. He gets on the top of it, another 6,000. Now, unfortunately, the Mogami and the Udaloi now have to deal with a radared Baltimore. And that's going to be quite a problem. Also, on top of that, Yamato has a problem with that Baltimore, too. Yep, there we go. Another fire on the shot on the Bisco.
The ship is on fire.
And another 10,000 damage on it.
Problem solved, sir.
Yep, now the Baltimore is dead. And now there's only one cruiser, the Zao. And the Bismarck
The ship is on fire.
right at the top.
Fighter returning to
Now he's only got 2 kills so far, but he's still definitely holding out on this fight. Udaloi decides to smoke and hide so he can fire as much as his nilly-willy way. And Wondering now has his guns in 2 different positions, one forward and one back. As he gets the cap with the Udaloi. And Balon gets the Bismarck with another massive damage salvo. And he uses his last heal. Of course, now his secondaries are now opening up on the Bismarck and Dyer's fire. That's going to calculate in. It's at 191 secondary hits, and he's aiming right at that top of that ship. He can penetrate down into the hole. There we go. Good salvo and good kill. There's Wondering's 3rd kill. Unfortunately, now they still have a point deficit with 2 kills.
problem solved.
And with that, that Lo Yang is definitely in a hot spot against Zap. But Wondering is not going to give up, and he's still going to try to do as much as he can out there. And he goes after the Zao. Now, they could probably win by caps and by time, but this is Wondering here. Wondering goes for all in with the chips. No matter how much, he goes all in. And he's going to go right after that Zao. Zao's going to go into a bunch of torpedoes. Looks like it. No, he's turning to dodge. Looks pretty good. No, he took one right on the side of the ship. And Wondering is about to beach himself. Nope, nope, he doesn't. He turns in just enough to dodge those. Now he's also waiting for them to get in a little closer. And wait for that right moment. There it is. Near the broadside. Lo Yang just got himself killed. However, there is a full salvo from... Oh, those look pretty good. Yep, and that's a pretty decent shot for an angled shot. It did aim and hit a little on the top of the deck, but that's still a pretty nasty shot. Sal's now spamming high explosive.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
And thanks to Lo Yang, he just said, he just repaired. Well, of course he did. But it's no big deal, I got this. But he's trying to wait till he gets past this island. He can't shoot it yet until he gets past that island. Now, Udaloy decides to fire, looks like armor piercing, which should have been high explosive at the time. That's just my 2 cents on that. Now, Wondering's still going to keep the armor piercing up. And there's Wondering, he's finally right. He said, don't die for nothing, don't attack. And he said, agree. Gun sound. Gami, don't fire. So he's now telling everybody to stop firing their guns. And, of course, Udaloy's on fire and dies to the cell. So now the match is now 2-1. It was to the lead, and now they're all dead. He got a double strike to Zhao, and well, now it's up to Bread to go after a Zhao toe-to-toe with all the caps taken. He can't run away from the Zhao. Zhao's faster. So now it's all up to Bread to actually get a good shot here. Now if you notice, he's not firing at him. He's letting the secondaries do the work. Yep, secondaries are doing it. And of course, chat is chatting and being itself. What should I have done? Run. So Wondering is retreating. He knows that they got the caps. There's no need for really to go after it. But if he pushes, which he just did, he's going to get taught a lesson. And sure enough, here it is. Citadel high caliber. And the secondaries finish him off. And that's how you get that. Well done, well done. That's Zhao deciding to push too much and have it like a turkey dinner daggle in front of him. Goes way in front of Wondering and gets that kill. Devastating strike. Fireproof, Dreadnought, high caliber, close quarters, Confederate. 4 kills, 3 sets of fire, 3 citadels, of course one on that Zhao, 70 target hits, 229 target hits. That Zhao definitely once he got spotted, definitely had learned a quick lesson that Wondering knows how to pinpoint the target exactly. 205,000 damage in this match, so well done for him. Of course, top of the leaderboard again with the 4 kills. Very good job, Lo Yang. Definitely pushed a little too hard in certain aspects, but definitely did some things. I do apologize to all the tier 10s on the enemy team who basically got themselves derped in the early of the match. Of course, Premium getting a good net sum of credits earned. Thank you for submitting that in. And definitely Wondering coming in and showing us how to clinch in a tier 10 German battleship, and showing how the difference between a victory and defeat is only by a small margin of knowing when to hit and when not to hit. Thank you so much for showing us and submitting that in, Wondering. As always, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video as always, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Also, if you guys want to see any more content, hit that subscribe button to see plenty more of the videos that we've seen down below, and also be notified if there's any other videos. On top of that, as always, there is my Twitch page. You guys can watch me live stream on Twitch at Nillybilly any way that you choose to. And also on top of that also is my Twitter page. If you guys want to, you can post things, follow me on Twitter down below in the description. As always, as I keep rambling on, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope to see you in the next one. As always, see you all on the high seas. Take care.